what's going on, guys? Let me ask you a quick question. Who wants to eat that green and ugly frog today? Well, guess what? Since today we're going to eat those frogs every day. So right now I'm going to give you a quick summary of the most important concepts from this book, and then I'm going to give you 5 big ideas in the end. Concept 1. Set the table. Always think on a paper. One of the very worst use of time is to do something very well that not needs to be done at all. Think about your goals and review them daily. Every morning when you begin, take action on the most important task you can accomplish to achieve your most important goals at that moment. Concept 2. Plan every day in advance. Always work from a list. Make your list the night before the work day ahead. You need different lists for different purposes. First, you should create a master list on which you can write down everything you can think of you want to do sometime in the future. Second, you should have a monthly list that you make at the end of each month for the month ahead. Third, you should have a weekly list where you plan your entire week in advance. Finally, you should transfer all the items from the monthly list and weekly list onto your daily list. Concept 3. Apply 80-20 rule to everything. Before you begin any work, always ask yourself this question. Is this task in top 20% of my activities or in the bottom 80%? Resist the temptation to do small things first. Your ability to choose between important and unimportant things is the key that will determine your success in life and work. Concept 4. Consider the consequences. Long-term thinking improves short-term decision-making. In your work, having a clear idea of what is really important to you in the long term makes it much easier for you to make a better decision about your priorities in the short term. Before starting on anything, you should always ask yourself this question. What are the potential consequences of doing or not doing this task? Successful people are those who are willing to delay gratification and make sacrifices in the short term so that they can enjoy for the greater rewards in the long term. Always remember the law of forced efficiency. There is never enough time to do everything, but there is always enough time to do the most important thing. Concept 5. Practice creative procrastination. The difference between high performance and low performance people is largely determined by what they choose to procrastinate on. You can get your time and life under control only to a certain degree to which you discontinue lower volume activities. So say no to anything that is not high volume use of your time and life. If it's not a decent sized frog, just say no. Concept 6. Always use ABCDE Method. You start with the list of everything you have to do for the coming day. Think on a paper, then place an A, B, C, D, or E next to each item on your list before you begin your first task. An A item is defined as something that is very important, something that you must do. This is the task that will have serious positive or negative consequences if you do it or fail to do it, like visiting your key customer or finishing your school report. B item is defined as a task that you should do. The rule is that you should never do B task when A task is left undone. C task is defined as something that would be nice to do, but it has no serious consequences if you do it or not. D task is defined as something that you can give it to someone else. And E task is defined as something that you can eliminate altogether and it won't make any difference. Concept 7. Leverage your special talents. Continually ask yourself those questions. What am I really good at? What do I enjoy the most about my job? What has been the most responsible for my success in the past? If I could do any job at all, what would it be? Next concept is very important. Concept 8. Put the pressure on yourself. To reach your full potential, you must form a habit of putting pressure on yourself and not waiting for someone else to come along and do it for you. Concept 9. Develop a sense of urgency. High efficient people launch quickly and strongly towards their goals and objectives. When you work on your most important task at high and continuous level of your activity, you can actually enter into this amazing mental state called flow. One of the ways you can trigger the state of flow is by developing the sense of urgency. With the sense of urgency, you can develop a bias for action. One of the simplest and yet most powerful way to get yourself started is just repeat, do it now, do it now, do it now, over and over to yourself. So those are 9 most important concepts from this book, and here are the 5 big ideas that I promised you at the beginning. 1. The key to reaching high levels of your performance and productivity is to develop lifelong habits of tackling your major task first thing each morning. 2. Think about your goals and review them daily. Every morning when you begin, take action on the most important task you can accomplish to achieve your most important goals at that moment. Meaning, eat the biggest and ugliest frog first. 3. Think on a paper. 4. Always work from a list. And 5. Your ability to choose between important and unimportant things is the key that will determine your success in life and work. This is the end. Do not forget, guys, to eat your biggest and ugliest frogs first. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Subscribe.